friends, my name is Maylin and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a quick little intro that I've just recorded. So I'm recording this on June 6, 2022. So I just want to say thank you so much for waiting. I know this video has taken me a few months to get out. Just a few things. I just had a few life changes. Boyfriend moved in and then I had my job changed and then I also got COVID. Thankfully, all recovered, everything is good, but it's just been a crazy few months with all the things that have been changing. So I just want to say thank you so much for waiting and for all your really wonderful comments in the meantime. I really appreciate you still interacting with the videos, even though I haven't been present. So I don't want to ramble on for too long. Just wanted to say thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoy the video. Just to let you know, this video was recorded back in March, so it might be a little bit different, but I just want to let you know that I am filming again and videos will be coming out on a regular basis. So thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the video. And as always, happy fluting! Hi friends, my name is Maylin and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flutist, performer, and music teacher located in the city of Kamloops, British Columbia, and this is my channel where we do all things flute, so thank you so much for joining me here today. In today's video, we're going to be on to part number 54 out of 55 of the How to Play the Flute for Beginners series, so I'm super excited, and if you're interested, then just keep on watching. As always, if you have any questions about the video, please feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I do my best to answer them as soon as I see them. Also, if you have any issues when it comes to practicing, feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. It gives you 8 really easy steps to follow to help guide your practice sessions. Alright, so let's just get right into today's video. So today's video, as you read in the title, is going to be going over scales, arpeggios, and musical terms. So this is all the technique you would be learning, and you'd be playing at about a grade 3, grade 4 level in the associated board, so that is in England as I understand it. And then at this stage, it would also be at approximately a level 4, level 3 in the RCM if you're playing in Canada. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through all the different scales that we have in the book. So it's going to be page 85 and then page 97 and 98. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm not going to be explaining it so much as I am just going to be saying the scale, playing them as written. So I'm not going to be playing it with any slurs or anything, but it's important to know the different variations of articulation. So I'll go over that before we get into all those scales, and then we'll play through all of them and all of the arpeggios there as well. And then after that, we're going to go through all the different musical Italian terms that is important to know. I love having this as a little cheat sheet, even for me. Every once in a while, we come upon a term that we haven't seen in a long time. So it's always good to have a resource there to go back to look over those musical terms. We're going to be starting here on page 85, so I'm just going to put up each scale one at a time. And for the sake of explaining this as a demonstration, I'm going to be playing them all articulated and then all slurred. So there are different articulations that we can use. But generally what I have been using as a standard is the RCM book here, the flute technique. And it actually goes through all the different levels and what you'll need to know when it comes to articulation, like all slurred, all tongued, 2 slurred, 2 tongued, and then they have examples of that in the book. So just for level 3, I will just put up their overview here. You can see for the scales in major and minor, it tells you which ones that you need to know. So in major keys, you need to know A and B flat, and with 1 octave range, G, D, and E flat major, 2 octave, etc., etc. And this one, the tempo would actually be a quarter note equals 60. And then similarly, I believe you can also find all of these resources online as well. But then if you wanted to go into level 4, for example, then I'll just quickly plop that one up right over here as well. So that one you can see there are more scales there, and then you're playing 2 octaves and you're playing a little bit faster. The quarter note is 72 here, so it's a little bit faster. So all these different things will definitely increase your technique here when it comes to playing at this level that you should be at after watching all my videos. But again, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the level 3 here when it comes to the articulations. So what I'm going to be doing for these examples is instead of playing all of the different articulations, that's important for you to play by yourself. For demonstration purposes, to make sure that you have the right notes and the right pitches, I'm just going to play it all tongued. Alright, so we're going to start with A minor, popping that up here. This is F major. G major, G minor, and just a quick note there, G minor that's written, that is the harmonic minor, meaning that it's a raised seventh the whole way through. Okay, and again, I'm going to be using, for arpeggios here, I'm going to be using what is written in the RCM book here. So that's going to equal a quarter note equals 52. So that means every triplet is going to fit in one of those quarter notes, one of each tick. So it would be triplet, 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 triplet. And of course, you want to clap and count that, definitely go right on ahead. Especially with all these high notes as well, definitely don't feel afraid to write in any of those letter names or accidentals if you're still getting used to playing those. Alright, so this is going to be A minor. F major. G major. And then G minor. Very good. And of course, when we are practicing with these different scales and arpeggios, it's really important to take it at a tempo where you're not making any mistakes to start. Take it really nice and slow, making sure that you're getting all the right notes before you really start picking up this speed here, because it's important to learn them correctly, because you'll be playing these for the rest of your playing life or the rest of the time that you play flute. So again, really making sure that you are very comfortable with it, work through it slowly, and then gradually increase the speed with your metronome until you can get it to a faster tempo. Again, for level 3, this is the fastest that you want to go, but of course, if you want to push the metronome, make sure that you are doing it at a nice slow tempo first so that you're nice and consistent. Make sure that you're recording yourself and having other people listen to you as well to make sure that it sounds good and steady, because sometimes it's easy to kind of have one note a little bit longer, one note a little bit shorter, so making sure they're all nice and even. Again, slurring is great to start with all of this first, and then go into tonguing. That'll help really to place those notes there when it comes to the scales and the arpeggios. Now we're going to go on to page 97, and again we're just going to go through all of these different scales here, and I'm going to be doing it again at quarter note equals 60. B flat major, B minor harmonic, B minor melodic, D major, F major, G major, D minor harmonic, then Mr. Y here has a note here, or melodic. So for the melodic, we're going to be raising the 6th and the 7th on the way up. So the 6th here is going to be the B. So the B is going to become natural on the way up, and we are going to keep that C sharp. And then on the way down, we're going to flatten both of those. So we're going to play C natural and B flat. So again, this is going to be D minor melodic. Now we're flipping onto page 98, so this is going to be E minor harmonic. E minor melodic. G minor harmonic. G minor melodic. So again, this one is going to be chromatic. So if you're looking at the chromatic scale here with the RCM, that's going to be quarter note equals 60, starting on D, going all the way up 1 octave. Here we have a chromatic scale starting on G. This one's in 3/4. And I'm going to keep it again at a quarter note equals 60, but of course if you want to make it below that, you can equal that to a quarter note equals 30, so it might be a little bit slow. Or alternatively, the 60 can be each 8th note. 1 and 2. Very nice. So with all of these, I think it's really important to focus, number one, on your breath support. So making sure that you start with a nice deep breath and making sure that you do take that optional breath when you're starting off, especially when you're starting at a slower speed. So it's going to be right at the top of each of those scales, and then take a nice deep breath. It could be out of time as well if you want to take the time to really feel nice and relaxed, and then go all the way down. If you really need to, you can also take breaths at the beginning of every single bar as well. That's totally okay. It's all about really making sure that you're growing and learning all of these techniques at a good pace without making very many mistakes. So it's easy to learn these skills incorrectly sometimes. So this is where you really want to put in a lot of really good work. Now we're going to go on to the last arpeggios here. So again, I'm going back down to a quarter note equals 52. So again, triple it, triple it. And we're going to start here with B flat major. B minor. D major. F major. G major. D minor. E minor. And G minor. All right, Very good. So again, really take your time with all of these. This is just meant to be used as a general reference. Again, I'm using all of the requirements for level 3 with your RCM, but if it is different where you are, then make sure that you are following what the guidelines are when it comes to where you're doing your examinations. Alright, so that's going to be it for all the playing today. So now we're going to go through a quick little list here again for the Italian words and their meanings. So this is on page 93. I'm just going to put it up right over here. We're just going to go through it really quickly with the pronunciations and approximate tempo markings as well, just so that you can have that for, again, a nice point of reference. So number 1, we're starting with Allegro, so that is quickly. For a reference, that's going to equal a quarter equals 120 to 132. Allegretto is less quickly than Allegro. Allegretto is anywhere from a quarter note equals 92 to a quarter note equals 109. Andante is slowly. It's going to equal a quarter note equals 72 to a quarter note equals 76. Andantino, less slow than Andante, though some composers use it to mean less fast or slower than Andante. Use your own judgment. So this one you're really going to have to make sure that either you ask your teacher if you are looking at a specific piece, or really listen to recordings of those pieces if you can find them, and that'll really help to kind of give your own judgment when it comes to the tempo. On the metronome app I use, the Andantino is a little bit faster than Andante, so it recommends a quarter note equals 78 to a quarter note equals 83. So a tempo in the original time after slowing down. So this is if you're rallying or rallentandoing at some point. A tempo just means you're going to go back to the original tempo that the piece started, or whatever section it's referring to. Animato, so animated, so it's going to be really nice and bright, lots of energy in the music. Al fine is to the finish, so this would be after da capo, for example. You always see it with 2 bar lines, the small ones. Con spirito is going to be with spirit. So of course, again, it's going to have vigor, essentially is what you're looking for. Again, it can be similar to animated, maybe a little bit less on the energetic side. Crescendo, of course, shortened down to the C or C, gradually getting louder. So again, that you can also see that with those hairpins. I think it's this one that I'm looking for. So it's when the crescendo starts. So it'll start at the bottom and then it'll open up. So that's the crescendo. Con is just with. Con moto, so this one, moto is motion, so with motion. So this is if you have a piece that needs to have like a nice motion moving feel. Diminuendo, so again short for dim, is gradually getting softer, so that's going to be the opposite of crescendo. Dolce means sweetly, so it's going to be really nice and sweet in sound. This is mostly for a color more than anything. So DC is short for da capo, so again at the hot, like da capo is your hat, da cap, go back to the beginning of the piece. So fine is the finish. Of course you'll see that again with the double bar lines there. I was mentioning that with the al fine, which is to the finish. Forte, so again you usually see that with the F, is loudly. Grazioso is gracefully, so it's going to be really nice and gentle. You're not going to have a lot of jarring articulation. You're going to try and really have it nice and smooth and legato. Larghetto is less slow than largo. My metronome app recommends a quarter note equals 51 to a quarter note equals 55. Maestoso is going to be majestically, so it's going to be kind of like, I like to think of maestoso as like big trumpet sound. That's the kind of thing you want to look for. Usually trumpets are very majestic in their sound. Mezzo forte, so that's MF, so that's half or moderately loud. Mezzo piano is also, of course, half or moderately softly. Mesto means sadly, so that one you're going to want to really kind of have a different color when it comes to your sound. Again, this might be even like a softer piece, for example. Moderato, so of course at a moderate speed. My app recommends a quarter note equals 86 to a quarter note equals 97. Ritenuto, so again short for rit, is holding back. Rallentando, rall is gradually getting slower. So again, rit and rall are kind of used in the same kind of context. They both generally mean the same thing. Sostenuto is going to be sustained, so that means you're going to be really holding the notes as much as you can to really keep it nice and sustained. Simile is continue in the same way. So this is generally written with articulations. So if the composer wants a piece to be, let's say, all staccato, but they don't want to write it out the whole time, what they'll do is they'll have it for the first few bars and then write simile there, simile. And then that way you know that you're going to be playing that same articulation or the same articulation pattern throughout the whole piece. Tempo is time, of course. We talk about tempo a lot. Tempo di minuetto, so in a minuet time, so minuet is a dancing style, so again that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tempo di valise, hopefully I'm saying that right, in a waltz time, so again that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, nice dancing, and a different kind of dance than the minuet. Vivo, very quickly and lively, and for a tempo marking here, I don't have vivo here, but again, this is going to be very nice and quickly. I would use kind of like a vivace, so lively, so that is very quick speed. For my metronome app here, vivace is recommended at a quarter note equals 133, all the way up to a quarter note equals 140, and then you can always go faster than that, and that's going to be Allegretto and Presto, etc. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you are interested in having a more in-depth video when it comes to skills and technique and things like that. Hopefully we did cover the basics here when it comes to playing at about a level 3 level. So again, making sure that you're really focusing on your breath support, super important. Your embouchure, making sure that you're getting the right embouchure, no tension or anything like that. And then of course your fingers, making sure they're nice and close to the keys. So you don't want them kind of coming up and down like this. You want to try and keep them as close to the keys as possible so that you have a nice, easy, and fast technique, because as flutes we do play a lot of scales and arpeggios in pieces. So making sure that when you're practicing these skills that you're working on a really nice gentle finger technique, because the more agile you are with your fingertips, the faster you'll be able to play those scales and arpeggios with accuracy. And of course, if you do have any more requests, or questions, please be sure to drop them in the comment section down below and I'll answer them as soon as I see them. And if you're having issues with practicing still, feel free to check out my free practice guide. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here for this video. We're almost at the end. I'm really excited for the grand finale, and that's going to be number 55. Hopefully I posted a little bit sooner than I have been with this one. I really appreciate your patience with, so thank you so much for your understanding, and thank you for watching this far. And of course, if you did like this video, like it and subscribe for videos just like this. Thank you again for joining me here today, and as always, happy fluting!